Alright guys, so as you guys saw yesterday, we finished taking off all the carpet glue. We used a mixture of chemicals and scrapers and rags to get it off. It was one of the easier ones, and we got it. And what was really nice about this is finished gel coat, so it made it really easy to take off. I say easy.
Took us all day.
Took us all day. Literally took us 2 people 8 hours to get all this glue off, and it was just getting the glue off this. The hardest parts were these radiuses and getting in here, because since we're SeaDekking this, you're gonna see all of this, all of it. You're gonna see it all. There's gonna be a gap here. You're gonna see down in there. So taking our time getting all the little itsy bitsy bits of glue off and all that. Something that we found super interesting is like on every edge, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, there's like scratches from where they dragged the knife to cut it. So this morning I just went through and I did a discount double check, try to get it as clean as I can. I'm gonna pull it outside, I'm gonna wash the boat with Dawn dish soap, and I'm gonna give it a good scrubbing. And then before SeaDek and all that, we're going to detail the inside of the boat. I want this to be as clean as possible for when the SeaDek guy shows up. I kind of want him to walk in and be like, wow, first off. And secondly is cleaner surface. We're gonna be sure that we have good adhesion. I've never done SeaDek, so I want this thing to be as clean as possible. So as far as detailing, we're gonna be doing a wool pad with some heavy cut. We might not do that step. I'm gonna do some testing, or we'll just go to the orange foam pad with some other stuff. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, on over here, as you guys can see, you can show you the whole boat. We got the glue up from everywhere, and it's looking really good. So over here, Hugh's doing his favorite activity of removing more glue from locker lids. We have 3 done, 4th one's in progress. And what we need to do is we need to get these powder coated, because SeaDek only covers the top. SeaDek doesn't wrap around the bottom. So if we were just gonna do this, it would just be silver and it would look terrible. So we are going to have to get these powder coated. So we're getting them ready. They don't have to be perfect because they're gonna get sandblasted in a big old sandblaster. It'd be really cool. Talk to the powder coat guy, see if we can get some footage of him coating these and stuff. If not, it's pretty simple. But that's something you guys need to consider if you're going to want to SeaDek your boat, is what do your lids look like? Because this is an additional charge of a process that we can't do here. We can't powder coat, we don't got a big enough booth. So something to think about. Or like the Ranger project, your lids aren't finished, they're just raw fiberglass. So that's something to consider as well. The SeaDek guy, hopefully when he comes in, we can get him on video. He hates doing old bass boats because you know what you're gonna get. So, that's what we got going on right now. I'm gonna take that boat out, I'm gonna wash it, I'm gonna start detailing it. Hugh's gonna spend probably the rest of the day dicking around on this, and I'm gonna get a lot of work done. So I haven't been videoing because we had a lot of other things going on in the shop, but we have gotten a lot of work done on this boat, and I just kind of wanted to go over a couple things. We've obviously removed all the carpet and all the carpet glue off of everything, off the lids, off the deck. Everything's done. Getting ready for the SeaDek guy to come out and do his little measuring. It's gonna be really cool. I hope we can get him to talk to you guys about doing this. If you guys are not SeaDekking, you do not have to take it this far. You don't have to really worry about it being pristinely clean if you're just gonna do carpet. The cleaner, the better adhesion, but we had to take it to a whole nother level because as you guys can see here, we're gonna be having gaps. So this is your carpet allowance gap that Grumpy always talks about, and now you're gonna be able to see that. So that's something to consider as well, that we made sure the customer knew that that's what's gonna go on, and he approved it, so we're good to go. So tomorrow that's gonna happen. Took the time, since everything's off, to detail the top cap in the inside of the boat. I didn't get every nook and cranny, but I got a vast majority of it done because I don't want to risk burning up the sea foam with my detailing equipment. So I know I've talked about this on some past videos, but I just want to touch on it here. I start with a wool pad on a rotary buffer from Harbor Freight with 3M heavy cut compound. Drizzle this over the, like you're seasoning something, dab it out, and you're gonna go back and forth, or side to side, and then up, down, and then side to side, and that's your area. You wanna do about a shoulder width area. You don't wanna get too ahead of yourself. On a top cap with like this, like you can go pretty far, but you wanna be careful. This thing can ruin a lot of stuff. You wanna maybe tape off the rub rail because this will burn the rub rail. This can cause some damage. So there's that. And then I follow up with a forced rotation with a orange foam pad and Menzerna 400. This has heavy cut, but this is meant for cars. And so on a boat, it's more of like a medium cut, and it kind of finishes it off. And it looks really good. I know you can't really tell the difference between the top cap and the bottom cap, but it is definitely a lot better than it was. Like I said, I went in there and I detailed all the inside because I don't know if it's just the white is reflecting all the bad stuff, like all the scratches and nicks and everything. But I just was concerned that once we put the SeaDek down that I wouldn't be able to clean up some of that stuff. Lastly, as you guys noticed, I went ahead and I've roughly installed the foot tray here. This was not that difficult. They already had a foot tray cut out. The only thing was I had to cut, so I came back here, taped it all off. I measured the center of this hole. I then traced, made sure where my hole was going to be, and basically on the Nitro it went like this, like it closed in on the back. So I just drew 2 straight lines, so now it kind of goes like this and then flat out. It was not deep enough, so I also had to cut a channel, or cut a hole out pretty much. So I pretty much did the whole thing. It was a big pain in the butt, but we got a little bit of glass up in here that I'm gonna need to clean up. And we also custom made a panel for in here as well to kind of clean all this up. So this is gonna be cleaned out. But that's pretty much as far as we're gonna go tomorrow. Hopefully we're gonna have the SeaDek guy here. He'll tell you some of his thoughts on SeaDekking a bass boat, because I don't think people think about situations like this. That's basically a 1/2 inch. We got almost an inch here. So that's just something to think about. Unless you want to get new lids made at a sheet metal shop, this is how your boat's going to look. They take into account on newer boats that have SeaDek all of this. So that's it for right now. Let's check back tomorrow, talk to the SeaDek guy, show you a little bit of that process, and we'll go from there.